descend into darkness with 10 brutal slasher films that vanished beneath the mainstream radar. From masked killers in the shadows to tormentors hiding in plain sight, these savage tales bleed with paranoia, rage, and relentless terror. Number 10, A Wounded Fawn.
I'm really looking forward to our time here together.
When Meredith, a soft-spoken museum curator, agrees to a secluded weekend getaway with a charismatic new lover, she's unaware she's stepping into a waking nightmare. What begins as flirtation quickly turns into a spiraling descent into madness as her date reveals himself to be a serial killer haunted by bizarre visions and mythological delusions. Trapped in a remote cabin, Meredith must navigate a surreal maze of terror where hallucinations bleed into reality and every shadow whispers death. The film blends Grecian allegory with visceral slasher violence, creating a hypnotic descent into chaos and bloodlust. Directed by Travis Stevens, A Wounded Fawn is a psychedelic horror vision that blurs the line between sanity and slaughter, seduction and savagery, offering a chilling look into the predator's mind unraveling from within. Number 9, Clown in a Cornfield.
Yeah, very funny, man.
After the tragic death of her mother, teenager Quinn Maybrook moves with her father to Kettle Springs, a rural town clinging to its fading past. But the town isn't just rotting, it's bleeding. The once beloved mascot, Friendo the Clown, returns not with balloons but with blades, stalking the cornfields and turning a quiet harvest into a slaughterhouse. As tensions erupt between rebellious teens and angry adults, Friendo becomes the masked embodiment of the town's buried hate, cutting down anyone caught in the crossfire. Directed by Eli Craig, Clown in a Cornfield is a savage neon-lit slasher soaked in Americana decay, a place where nostalgia kills and no one's laughing when the corn starts whispering your name. Number 8, Kill Me Again.
In a tank full of guppies, what do you think is gonna happen?
You see my friend?
On a rain-slick highway in the dead of night, a rundown roadside diner becomes the final stop for a fugitive serial killer hiding in plain sight. When a sudden power outage traps the late-night staff and weary travelers inside, suspicion festers and fear spreads like wildfire. With the killer's fractured mind teetering between control and carnage, the line between predator and prey begins to blur under flickering neon and whispered secrets. Each character becomes a suspect, each shadow a threat, as paranoia poisons the air and survival becomes a matter of instinct. Directed by Keith Jardine, the film simmers with claustrophobic tension, transforming a greasy spoon into a crucible of violence and fractured psyches. Number 7, Friday the 13th, The Awakening.
You kids have fun.
Years after the last screams faded from Camp Crystal Lake, a new group of thrill-seekers dares to reopen its gates, hungry for nostalgia and blind to the blood-soaked soil beneath their feet. But evil doesn't forget. When night falls, something awakens in the woods, a hulking figure in a cracked hockey mask, driven by rage and something darker. As the campers vanish one by one, whispers of Jason Voorhees rise like mist off the lake, and survival becomes a cruel game of chance and punishment. The Awakening resurrects the franchise with brutal reverence, fusing modern horror style with the raw, relentless force of classic slasher carnage. The legend isn't just back, it's hungry, and this time, it remembers every face. Number 6, Tragedy Girls.
More to the left, his heart's more to the left. You're just hitting bone, dude. I'm trying.
Best friends Sadie and Michaela run a true crime blog in their sleepy Midwestern town. But their obsession with murder doesn't stop at reporting. It starts with committing. When they capture an active serial killer and chain him up, the girls begin staging their own spree of killings to boost their online fame. But as the bodies pile up and their friendship frays, the real horror emerges, not from the blade, but from the thirst for digital validation. Witty, savage, and soaked in neon blood, this high school slasher blends black comedy with brutal carnage, twisting teen tropes into something ferociously fresh. Tragedy Girls is a razor-sharp satire of influencer culture, where popularity is earned one corpse at a time. In this town, death trends fast, and the likes come with a body count. Number 5, Project Wolf Hunting.
니들도 배운 줄 알 수 있지?
When a group of dangerous criminals are transported on a massive cargo ship from the Philippines to South Korea, chaos erupts before they even hit open water. But mutiny is only the beginning. Deep within the ship's hold lies a secret experiment, an unstoppable, bloodthirsty weapon born from twisted science and long-buried war crimes. As the convicts turn on each other and the crew is slaughtered, survival becomes meaningless in the face of a new apex predator. Arteries burst, bones shatter, and steel corridors run red in this hyper-violent descent into maritime hell. Project Wolf Hunting is a brutal symphony of gore and dread, fusing sci-fi horror and action with unrelenting pace. Number 4, Roseblood. Set 13 months after the bloody showdown of the New Blood, telekinetic survivor Tina Shepard is imprisoned in a secretive government facility under the guise of treatment. But behind locked doors, a darker purpose stirs, one that aims to weaponize her powers and awaken something buried deep beneath Crystal Lake. Enter Rose, another psychic with volatile gifts, whose arrival signals the beginning of a new nightmare. When Jason Voorhees returns, reborn and more brutal than ever, the sterile halls become a slaughterhouse, and psychic warfare explodes amidst the chaos. Directed by Peter Anthony, Roseblood is a love letter carved in blood, an unholy fusion of supernatural terror and fan-fueled legacy. Number 3, Severance. What starts as a corporate retreat in the remote forests of Eastern Europe quickly turns into a nightmare when employees of a weapons company find themselves hunted by unseen killers. Their promised luxury lodge is a crumbling relic. The maps don't match the terrain, and the woods hold secrets far older and bloodier than team-building games. As traps spring and the body count rises, office alliances dissolve into primal fear, and survival depends less on strategy than raw instinct. Directed by Christopher Smith, Severance is a clever, vicious blend of slasher horror and black comedy, where every punchline lands with a scream and the final meeting is soaked in blood. Number 2, Never Hike in the Snow. Three months before the events of Never Hike Alone, a young local named Mark disappears in the frozen woods near Crystal Lake, last seen wandering where no one ever should. As the town searches through snow-covered silence, a buried evil awakens, stalking beneath the white veil with blood-soaked intent. Each footprint in the snow is a warning. When Deputy Rick Cologne begins to uncover the truth, the chill in the air turns lethal, and the legend of Jason Voorhees rises once more with a vengeance colder than death itself. Number 1, Inferno.
Are governed by dead people.
When a young poet in New York discovers a mysterious book detailing the three mothers, ancient witches who control the world through sorrow, darkness, and tears, she unwittingly awakens a malevolent force within her crumbling apartment building. As reality bends and those around her vanish or die in gruesome ways, her brother races from Rome into a labyrinth of fire, water, and shadow to uncover the truth. Evil seeps through walls, music becomes a warning, and death flows like liquid color. Directed by Dario Argento, Inferno is a fever dream of occult terror and operatic horror, an atmospheric descent into madness, painted in neon blood and whispered incantations. Here are 4 other movies you have to see. Piggy. Sarah, an overweight teenager bullied by her peers, witnesses her tormentors being abducted by a stranger in rural Spain. Faced with the chance to intervene or remain silent, she spirals into a moral crisis that blurs the line between justice and vengeance. As the small town hunts for the missing girls, Sarah becomes entangled in the killer's twisted path. What follows is a harrowing tale of rage, isolation, and the haunting cost of silent complicity. Hell of a summer. When a group of teenage counselors arrives at Camp Pineway, their summer of fun is cut short by a masked killer lurking in the woods. As bodies drop and suspicion spreads, campfires become warning signs and trust disintegrates. The film playfully nods to 80s slasher tropes while injecting modern awkwardness and humor. What begins as nostalgia soon twists into a bloody coming-of-age nightmare. Last straw. After firing her staff, Nancy takes on a late shift alone at her father's isolated diner, only to find herself stalked by masked intruders. As the night unfolds, routine transforms into chaos, and the fluorescent-lit stillness turns deadly. Trapped in a pressure cooker of fear, she's forced to defend herself against an unknown threat with nowhere to run. The film blends minimalist terror with raw survival in a diner where every order could be your last. Candyland.
You are so beautiful. Oh, you don't have to be scared. I couldn't hurt a fly.
Remy, a young woman exiled from a religious cult, falls into the world of truck stop sex workers known as lot lizards. As she navigates their dangerous lifestyle, she's drawn into a spiral of bloodshed, survival, and repressed desire. The film confronts faith, sexuality, and violence in a raw, grindhouse atmosphere drenched in neon and diesel fumes. With each act of transgression, Remy transforms from lost soul to something far darker.